My girlfriend said she was pregnant, and suddenly everyone started talking about weddings and family. But something felt off. Too perfect, too clean, too fake. When I uncovered what she was hiding, my whole world flipped upside down. This wasn't just a lie, it was a carefully crafted trap. And what I did next? No one saw it coming. Yo, I'm Jake, 25, and let me tell you, I thought I had my shit together. Like, you know when life is cruising along just fine, and then, bam, out of nowhere, you get sucker punched so hard, you're not even sure what hit you? Yeah, that's me right now. It all started when my girlfriend, Lisa, she's 24 by the way, began acting off. We'd been together for like a year, and honestly, everything was chill. Lisa was cool, always the life of the party, and we'd have a blast. But then, one day, she hits me with the classic line that sends shivers down every dude's spine. Jake, we need to talk. Now, nothing good ever follows those words. I thought she was going to bring up something minor again, like how I forgot to buy her favorite smoothie or some other small drama that I'd have to apologize for to keep the peace. But oh no, this wasn't that. She's looking at me with this face, like she's about to drop the world's biggest bomb. And then she says it. I'm pregnant. Pregnant. My brain short-circuited right there. Pregnant. Like, what the actual fuck? Pregnant? I stammered, not even sure if I heard her right. My head's spinning, and I'm sitting there like, bro, you've been careful. How the hell did this happen? Panic, anger, confusion, all swirling around in my brain like some kind of messed up cocktail from hell. I couldn't even respond, and then she kept going. I took a test, 2 lines, so now we have to figure out what we're going to do. Lisa looked at me like she expected me to just grab a tux, hit up a priest, and start picking out baby names on the spot. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to process the fact that my life just went from 0 to 100 real fast. I had no idea this was just the beginning of her twisted little game. But oh man, things were about to get a whole lot worse. So, after the initial bombshell, I was trying to wrap my head around it. A million questions were running through my mind. But Lisa? Oh, she was way ahead of me. It was like she'd already written the whole script in her head and was just waiting for me to catch up. She wasted no time diving into talks about weddings, families, and, you guessed it, responsibility. I can't be a single mother, she said with this look on her face, like I was supposed to feel guilty. And honestly, I kinda did. I mean, I thought I loved her, or at least I thought I did, but this was a whole new level of crazy. The very next day, she hit me with an ultimatum. No lead-up, no warning, just straight to the jugular. We either get married or you dump me and I'll tell your family and friends everything. Bruh, you ever just get slapped with something so hard you can't even respond? That was me. She played the tell your family card like it was her ace in the hole, and honestly, it was. My family is old school as hell. If they found out I got someone pregnant before marriage, it would be game over. I'm talking full-on disownment. My mom would probably have a heart attack. And my dad? He'd ground me, and I'm 25. And don't even get me started on my friends. The roasting would be endless. I'd never live it down. It felt like I was trapped. No way out. Lisa had me in a chokehold, and she knew it. But then, something in my brain clicked. You ever get that feeling like something just isn't right? Yeah, that was me. The timing, the way she delivered the news, everything. It was too perfect, like it was rehearsed or something. But still, what was I supposed to do? Ask her for a doctor's note? I was torn between thinking, there's no way this is legit, and but what if it is? I mean, I'm no doctor. How the hell was I supposed to figure out if she was faking? After Lisa dropped that ultimatum on me, she cranked the pressure up to a whole new level. It was like I was her little puppet, and she was pulling all the strings. She started calling up my friends, telling them how I was not ready to step up and take responsibility. Like, excuse me? Who died and made her the judge of character around here? And then, the real kicker, she straight up threatened to tell my parents if I didn't put a ring on it soon. Now, remember, my parents are old school. The moment they hear baby out of wedlock, they're going to lose their minds. My mom will be in tears, and my dad? Oh, he'll be lecturing me on family honor like this is the 1800s. Every word Lisa said felt like a knife twisting deeper into my back. But it gets better. One night, Lisa organized this cute dinner with my parents. I was sweating bullets the entire time because I knew she had something up her sleeve. And of course, halfway through dinner, she casually drops, "I really want a big loving family someday." Cue my mom's face lighting up like it's Christmas morning. "Oh, how sweet. So, when's the wedding?" she asks with a big smile, like this is some rom-com and not a hostage situation. I almost choked on my drink, but Lisa, she didn't miss a beat. "Soon," she said, flashing this fake smile that made me want to flip the whole table. My mom was over the moon, already planning out the wedding like it was happening tomorrow, and Lisa was eating it up. Meanwhile, I was sitting there in stunned silence, watching my entire life get hijacked in real time. She wasn't just manipulating me anymore. She was taking control of my entire future. And I just sat there, like an idiot, letting it happen. Sure, I was boiling inside, but I kept my mouth shut. I had no proof she was lying, and if I said anything, it'd be my word against hers. After that dinner, something inside me snapped. I mean, it was crystal clear. This whole thing reeked of a setup. I'm the kind of guy who usually trusts people, you know? But at this point, even I couldn't ignore the red flags waving in my face, like it was a parade of bullshit. Every day, Lisa's story seemed shakier, and I was losing my grip on reality. Was she really pregnant? Or was this just one big twisted scam? One morning I woke up and thought, screw this, I need answers. So I did something that felt straight out of a movie. I hired a private detective. Yeah, you heard me right. I couldn't play detective myself, and let's face it, Googling how to tell if your girlfriend is faking a pregnancy wasn't gonna cut it. I needed a pro. I found this guy, real old school, trench coat and all. Dude looked like he'd seen it all. Probably busted more fake pregnancies than I've had relationships. We sat down, and I told him everything, from Lisa's suspicious timing to her manipulative dinners with my parents. He didn't flinch. "I'll look into it," he said. Man of few words, but that's what I needed. The waiting was hell, though. Every day, I was on edge. Lisa kept acting like everything was normal, talking about baby names in the future, while I was sitting there wondering if this was all just one big act. A few days later, the detective calls me up. "We need to talk," he said, sounding way too serious for my liking. I met him at this sketchy little diner, half expecting him to tell me something like, "She's legit," and that I'm just paranoid. But when he slid that folder across the table, my world flipped upside down. The results? Let's just say they were shocking enough to make my stomach drop faster than a roller coaster. Lisa? Yeah, she wasn't pregnant, not even close. It was all an elaborate scheme, just like I feared. So here I am, sitting in this grimy diner with the detective who just handed me a folder that might as well have been a ticking time bomb. My hands were sweating, my heart was pounding, and I wasn't ready for what I was about to learn. I mean, I knew Lisa was pulling some shady shit, but this was next level. Turns out Lisa wasn't just lying. She had crafted this entire pregnancy lie like she was playing 4D chess. The detective laid it all out for me, piece by piece. First, the fake pregnancy test. Yeah, she didn't just grab some off-the-shelf kit and hope for a lucky result. Nope. She bought a fake positive test, straight off the internet. Who even does that? Oh, and the documents she showed me about her doctor's visits? Well, you guessed it. All forged. She had gone so far down the rabbit hole to make sure everyone, from my friends to my parents, thought she was actually going to have a baby. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut, hard. I wasn't just being manipulated. I was a puppet in her twisted, disgusting little show. Every single thing, from the teary-eyed "I'm pregnant" moment to the "I want a big family" speech at dinner, was a total con. And I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. But hold up, that wasn't even the worst of it. The detective dug deeper, and what he found made my jaw hit the floor. Lisa? Yeah, this wasn't her first rodeo. She'd run this same scam before, with multiple guys, and she wasn't doing it for kicks. She had a whole hustle going. Fake the pregnancy, force the guy into marriage, then clean him out in the divorce. She was like some kind of gold-digging mastermind, and I was just the latest fool on her hit list. I was livid. No, scratch that. I was furious. It wasn't just that she lied. It was that she played me like a damn fiddle. And worse, I was this close to walking straight into her trap. But this time? Nah. This time things were going to play out differently. She thought I was just another pawn in her game. But I had something else in mind. After the truth dropped like a nuke on my life, I knew it was my turn to make a move. No way was I going to be her next sucker, the dude who gets played and left broke in the aftermath. Nah, this time I was the one calling the shots. I had to be smart about it, though. There's nothing sweeter than a well-planned revenge. So I started playing it cool, acting like I was still figuring out what to do with her pregnancy. I'd throw in lines like, "We should really talk about the future," or "I'm just processing everything right now." All the while I was putting distance between us, mentally prepping for the big payback. And Lisa, she didn't suspect a thing. In her mind, she was the queen, and I was her little pawn, inching closer to the altar. She kept doing her thing, worming her way deeper into my family's good graces, acting like the perfect soon-to-be wife. She even started hanging out with my friends more, getting them to think she was some kind of angel. Bro, it was disgusting to watch, but I let her play her part, all while keeping my plan locked and loaded. I wasn't going to rush it. Patience, they say, is a virtue, and revenge is best served cold, right? She thought her web was getting tighter, but little did she know I was weaving my own. Every time she tried to guilt-trip me with, "We need to start planning the wedding," I'd smile and nod, pretending like I was on board. Inside, I was laughing. Like, seriously? You really thought I was going to let you get away with this? Meanwhile, I was setting the stage for the perfect downfall. I talked to the detective again, getting even more dirt on her past scams, and started collecting my own evidence, too. Every little lie, every manipulative move she made, I had it documented. It was like building a case, but instead of taking her to court, I was going to dismantle her entire life right in front of her eyes. She wanted to play dirty? Well, I could play dirtier. And the best part? Lisa was oblivious. She thought I was trapped, still panicking about being a dad while she continued her act. But what she didn't know was that I was about to flip the script, and she was about to be the one left scrambling for a way out. The day finally came, and I was ready to drop the bomb. Lisa, being her usual conniving self, had set up this fancy dinner at a swanky restaurant. She invited my parents, my closest friends, basically everyone who mattered in my life. She was positively glowing, thinking tonight was her moment. In her twisted little mind, she thought I was going to propose and lock myself into her trap forever. Yeah, right. We're sitting there, and the vibe is all smiles and laughs. Lisa's pouring on the charm, acting like she's already part of the family. My mom was practically drooling over the idea of a grandkid, and my friends? They were clueless, totally buying into her act. But I had something way better planned. Halfway through the dinner, I stood up. The room got quiet, all eyes on me. Lisa's grin stretched across her face, like she was about to win the lottery. "I've got something important to share with all of you," I started, locking eyes with her. The smile wavered, but she kept up the act. She probably thought this was the proposal speech, but instead of dropping to one knee, I dropped the truth bomb. "I think it's time you all knew the real story." And with that, I pulled out the stack of evidence I'd been collecting for weeks. Lisa's fake pregnancy tests, right there. Her forged doctor's notes? Yep, got those too. And the best part, pictures from the detective. Photos of her pulling the same scam with other guys, like some kind of twisted gold-digging mastermind. The silence was deafening. My parents were frozen in shock, jaws practically on the floor. My friends? They looked like they'd been hit by a truck. But Lisa? Oh man, she went from confident to pale as a ghost in seconds. She tried to interrupt, sputtering out some nonsense about misunderstandings and how could you do this? But I wasn't about to let her off the hook. I kept going, laying out her entire scheme piece by piece. She's not pregnant. She's been lying from the start. This whole thing has been a setup, I said, watching her world crumble with every word. Lisa's eyes darted around the room, looking for an escape, but there was none. Her game was over, and everyone knew it. The illusion she'd carefully built shattered. And let me tell you, watching her face go from smug to desperate was the sweetest thing I'd ever seen. By the time I was done, she had nothing left. No lies to hide behind, no tricks up her sleeve. She was exposed, standing in front of everyone she tried to fool, and there was no way out. After that night, Lisa vanished from my life as quickly as she had wormed her way into it. It was like she just evaporated, taking her lies, schemes, and fake pregnancy with her. Her reputation? Completely torched. There wasn't a soul left who didn't know what she was really about. And trust me, in our circle, word travels fast. She couldn't pull that stunt on anyone else ever again. Game over. My family, bless them, finally saw her for what she truly was: manipulative, deceitful, and straight up toxic. The look on my mom's face when she realized the sweet girl she'd been rooting for was nothing more than a fraud? Priceless. And my friends? Let's just say they're still talking about how I managed to drop the truth bomb of the century. And me? Man, the satisfaction of tearing her little house of lies down in front of everyone, that was something else. There's nothing quite like watching someone who thought they had you wrapped around their finger realize they were the ones caught in the trap. I didn't just dodge a bullet, bro. I dodged a damn nuke. I learned a lot from this. First off, trust is something you gotta earn, not something you just hand out like candy. Second, if someone's trying to manipulate you, don't be a victim. Sooner or later, their web of lies will catch up with them. You just gotta make sure you're the one holding the scissors when it does. So, yeah, I came out of this mess with a clearer head, a tighter circle, and a serious distrust of pregnancy tests. But hey, at least I'm not married to a psychopath. That's a win, right?